What's going on, my boxing brothers and sisters? You already know what it is. Major Key Mondays in full effect. What's going on to everybody? You know what I mean? Like, yo, great weekend of boxing. Weekend of boxing. A lot of things also coming in the future. You know what I'm saying? With boxing, and so definitely you wanted to share some insight with that, but also got my guy here, special guest. My man always showing up on time, always ready to talk, ready to chop it up, ready to ruffle feathers. What's going on, Rick? How you doing?
Not bad, Major Key. How you doing tonight? I am 2 minutes late tonight. I had trouble getting on for some reason or another. I kept clicking the thing; it wouldn't go. Then I rebooted my phone and it went on. So sorry that I was 2 minutes
Oh,
late.
you're good. You're
Apologies.
good, man. Hey, it's all good, man. It's all good. Listen, man, I appreciate you being here. That's first and foremost. You know what I'm saying? So, how you doing? Everything good?
Oh yeah, thanks for having me. I'm in Buffalo. We had an earthquake today at
Holy
3.8
shit!
at 6:15 this morning. Half the women in Buffalo thought they were having an orgasm.
Now, was that like? Is there like a shout out to the chat, by the way? Tycho, QT, Toby Bartlett. They're gonna be rolling in, but so is there like some kind of volcano around like that part of like
No. There's a
Canada or
there's a
anything?
there's a fault. There's a fault here, but it wasn't the fault on the fault line. It was
Gotcha.
somewhere else, and I don't know what happened. Just in here, there was a 3.8 magnitude, and then on the Canadian side of the border, they registered a 4.2 over there. But the Canadians aren't real good at math, so it may have been 3.8, but they just didn't add it up right.
I
Who
got
knows?
you. I got you. I got you. Shit, man. Well, I don't do French math neither, man. But I
You
was in the
know?
top 1 percentile in the United States. I can tell you that. But shout out
Oh
to
yeah.
Champ Ross, Fantasy Boxing Predictions League. If you don't know about that, you should check that out. It's pretty interesting. He's got this Facebook thing where everybody predicts, and it's a lot of the content creators that do it. You know,
No kidding.
yeah, pretty interesting stuff. So that's Champ Ross. Shout out to iTalk family. Everybody subscribe to him as well. Now, let's just start off. I gotta send. Let me just drop this link for Troy. He always has trouble when I send him the link. Mata King Boxing in the building. Um, Bruce Gas, my brother. Shout out to you. Now, I know I've been listening to you. On my brother Coach Malachi's channel. You've been regular over there. Which is that's what's up. You know what I'm saying? Especially since he's partnered up with Freeway now. So that's beautiful. I love the whole energy over when you pop up over there. So I'm gonna follow up on some of that stuff. But before we even get into that, first and foremost, is there anything new that no one has spoken to you about? Anything that you know about that's coming down the pipes, or any new information?
Not today. I mean, all the news is broken. I mean, some of the stuff is just, Anthony Joshua and Jermaine Franklin's been in the works for a month. They finally closed that the other day, and that was announced. And all normal stuff.
Gotcha. All right. So welcome Troy Graham. Troy Graham made it in.
Hey,
Kaboom! Look
Troy,
who stepped in the room. Bless up, everybody. Hey,
how you doing, Troy?
good. I'm doing good, and I definitely want to jump on that Anthony Joshua conversation. I'll just jump on that, but a second, my phone is ringing, and I don't want y'all to hear it.
All right, so let me keep it moving. First and foremost, well, before we let's beat a dead horse first before we move along. Any response to your challenge with as far as the 61,000 that people were
No,
disputing? No
no,
response
of
to your
course,
Twitter.
no, of course not. He runs around. It's a funny thing when reporters ask him. Oh, a couple of the reporters asked him, "Oh, about my thing. Oh, he's Glazer's full of shit. He doesn't know." But then when people ask him, he said, "Well, why don't you? All he asks you to do is post, a CPA certified, verified numbers from a CPA firm, and if that's the case, then you'll be right if they're 200,000." And if they're what Glaser says, yeah, he's right. Well, no, why are we going to do that? We're a publicly traded company. Well, if you're a publicly traded company, then tell the truth. See, they didn't put out. Remember something. They did not put out the 200,000. They floated it to the media, and the media ate it right up.
Right.
There's no quotes. There's no quotes in any of the articles from anybody at Showtime, including Espinoza or anybody from PBC. It was all floated to the media like it was real. It's not real. Or they would have, believe me, if that fight did 200,000, they'd be fucking waving pom-poms and making public statements, and all the executives from PBC. I mean, well, Tim Smith, anyways, and Steven Espinoza. Not one single article had a quote in there from either an executive from either company. Now, what does that tell you? Now, seriously.
Yeah. No, I mean, I follow you, man. Like I was actually on multiple channels defending the stance that at least give me an alternative. If you don't believe Rick, just because you don't like him, because you very openly, like, you just don't fuck with PBC. I get that. Like,
listen. Let me run this by you. Ron Katz, who works for TGB, who's the promoter for PBC, which is tied in together. You know that, right? Okay. Right. He told Ali Stepek it did 400,000 homes.
Yeah.
Now that was the original flow to the press. Then they said, "Well, Jesus, that's the way out of whack. Shut up." And now we're going to float 200,000 to the media. It's all bullshit. Listen. I want to explain this to everybody real quick. Okay, it's not that Tank is not an attraction. He is, but he's a gate attraction, and they're stealing the pay-per-view. That's all there is to it. The people are watching, they're stealing it. Everybody's got a Fire Stick. Everybody's got a free way to watch it these days, whether it's a foreign feed, whether it's off of Facebook, somebody puts it up on Facebook. Nobody's paying for it. I saw it for free on Facebook. I didn't even look for it. I didn't give a shit. I just went along Facebook. I just went along Facebook that night, just looking to see the comments in general about what people were talking about that night in general, nothing to do with the fight. And all of a sudden, the guy's showing it. Well, I jumped on. I wasn't looking for the feed. I just run into it by accident.
Well, to compound on that, Rick, even further, one thing that a lot of people are not considering, right, is the fact that what I see nowadays is people are calling the fights. So if somebody's like not willing to pay for it, or they're not willing to, if they can't find a stream or something like that, they're still going by the blow for blow commentary of some YouTuber, right? Which shout out to them, but that's also views for these YouTubers, and it's not actually, translating into money for, asses and seats or pay-per-view buys.
100%. And like I said, this isn't Tank's fault. Tank, believe it or not, I'm going to make a statement to you. Tank has been very poorly promoted. Okay, yes. By Mayweather and PBC, very poorly. Now you could say, well, how bad could he be? He's been asses in the seats. Okay, he has. But what they should have done with fucking Tank, okay, is they should have started him out and put him on either free CBS, okay, for a couple shows, then moved him along to Showtime put him on CBS for like 2 fights. Okay, then brought him over to Showtime, and then, after 4 fights, then put him on, what's his name? They put him on early on Showtime, and they made him pay-per-view right away. I'm going to tell you something that's just the way it is. I always go by my 3 brother-in-laws. That's my 2 sisters' husbands, and my wife's brother, Chris. They are what they like boxing, but they're general sports fans. Okay, both of them, I'm sorry, all 3 of them have no Crawford, they know Spence, they know Fury, they know Wilder. Okay, only 1 out of the 3 has ever seen a Tank fight. The fact that 1 out of those 3 guys who are general sports fans has seen a Tank fight, and the other 2 never heard of Tank, whether by Gervonta Davis or Gervonta Tank Davis or Tank Davis, tells you all you need to know. Because especially when they know who Crawford and Spence are, okay, and they know who Fury and Wilder are. They know Canelo. They know Shakur Stevenson. All 3 know why? Because he fights on free ESPN. So that's what the difference is right there. Okay, and
Mhm.
he's not been developed properly. And the fact that they try to force feed him on pay-per-view, listen, he only did 52,000 buys on this January 5th of, I'm sorry, December 5th of 2021 when he fought Isaac Cruz. He did 52,000. Leonard Ellerby saying he did 200,000. Well, that's the magic number for success in people's minds, is 200 for a pay-per-view these days. And he's not doing those kind of numbers. They're lying. Okay, I want to tell you something funny. Okay, my numbers have come from the same person. Okay, since July of 2004 with the Floyd Mayweather Charles Gatti fight. Okay, he is a LA based attorney in the TV industry. He does sponsorship deals, he does contracts, he does all kinds of deals, and he gets all the numbers because he's the one that's getting sponsorships and stuff like that, or being asked to get sponsorships and stuff like that. Okay, and he's in that business. Now, just to let you know something additional, okay? He even said the piracy rate is so high today. If there was no piracy, yes, this guy could be doing 200,000, 250,000 homes. The piracy is so high today. And here they're lying about the numbers. It's an industry problem. Why do you think Aram's not doing pay-per-view? That's why when they only do the pay-per-view, they do it off the streaming, off the ESPN Plus. They don't put it, you can't get it on regular TV. You can only go on the Plus app because it's hard, much harder to steal it off the streaming than it is off the regular off the cable. So that's why Crawford and Porter did so well. That's the only reason why it did so well. And what's his name bit the bullet? Spence and Ugas did shit. They didn't do shit. They did 129,000 buys because it's too easy to steal it off the TV. So because the thievery, the piracy is so high, and because Showtime is behind on the technology of using TV and not just the streaming for the pay-per-view, it's making Tank look bad. Okay, but they're so far behind the times. I mean, that's what's going on here. It's not a matter of Tank being unpopular, and that's what I've tried to express to people.
I know, yeah, Troy wants to jump in, so I don't want to cut him off. But Mighty Max asks you, I'm going to put the post here. He says, can someone tell Rick Glaser to stop telling people that he's my uncle? I don't know what that's about, but Mighty Max doesn't
he's full. That guy's full of shit. I don't even know who he is. He says that all the time, every time I'm on a podcast. Tell him to go fuck himself.
Okay, right, well,
tell him to go fuck himself. He should be. Listen, all I know is all my nephews. They're very proud that I'm his uncle. Tell him to go fuck himself.
All right. Rick. Shout out to True Media USA, Coach Malachi in the chat. You know what I'm saying? Alicia Feliciano, Andres, rolling with the punches. Everybody in the chat, guys. I'll catch up with you guys in a minute. Go ahead, Troy.
Yeah, Rick. Rick. You have a troll. All that means is that you're doing well, brother. You're doing well. But most of what you said, I agree with. Right? We were saying that they pushed him along too fast. He should have been on free TV. Every time I say things like this, people look at me like I have a third head. Like I don't know what the hell I'm talking about, right?
Well, that's why Shakur. That's why my my three brother-in-laws know who Shakur Stevens is. All my nephews know Shakur. Why? He fights on free ESPN. It's simple.
Yeah, because we had a conversation about the grassroots and all that. And you said, well, you can't go backwards now, but they should have started him like that, correct?
Correct. 100%. No, I said it's hard. It's hard to go backwards. Correct. Then you look like a failure. Correct.
Right. And now, let me tell you how this all came about. While you're really here today, it was supposed to be a Q&A because a bunch of folks supposed to ask you questions. Like a few weeks back, I was just somewhere. I was on another platform, and they were like, "Well, Rick is full of this and that." So I was just listening. So I said, "Well, how do you prove it?" Well, they said that such and such said this. Okay, well, how do you prove that such and such is telling the truth? Because they said it.
Those numbers are floated to the media. I'm not media. I'm a boxing insider. I get the real scoop. I'm not media. Okay. And people question what I even do in boxing. People say, "Oh, you're a failure as a manager." I never managed a fighter in my life. What are they talking about?
I guess they didn't see the thumbnail. But then I said to them, look, I'm gonna give him a call and see if he wants to come on. So now that you won, I don't hear any questions. Everybody's quiet as a church mouse. You asked the man to come on, ask him the questions. That's the whole purpose of the man being here. Don't get, don't shrink now. Don't shrink now after you were barking at me so loud. Jump up and ask the questions. You could either, hit the link or type it so I or Major can see it, and we'll ask you questions. They don't need to be silent now. But Rick, let me jump on the subject with you. Anthony Joshua is fighting Franklin.
Yeah,
right?
Jermaine Franklin. Yeah.
Now, question for you: how does the loser get the shot at Anthony Joshua?
Well, a lot of people thought he won. I didn't think he won, but I thought it was damn close. And I don't think it's any different than fighting Anthony Joshua as far as ability goes. So I accept the fight as a solid fight. I'm anxious to see the fight. I think it's gonna be a damn good fight, to be honest with you. Okay, I don't have a problem. The reason why they're doing the fight is because it's going to be a build up to the Joshua White rematch. I get it. I have no problem. Listen, I'm not a big Eddie Hearn fan. I've been critical of Eddie over the years, a lot of the shit he's done and pulled, but I don't have a problem with this fight. It's a competitive fight. It's a fun fight. Jermaine Franklin earned this fight, even though did he lose the fight? I thought he lost close, but a lot of people thought he won. And you know what? He put up a great fight, so I don't have a problem with it in the world. And don't forget, Anthony Joshua is lacking in confidence right now, so it's going to be it's going to be a better fight than people think it is.
Let me tell you what, I think that White is at twilight of his career. I just think he's at the twilight of his career. He's not what he was 2-3 years ago. He just doesn't have that. 100%. He doesn't have that edge.
The guy was the guy's headlights were out. He was sleeping for 5 minutes with Tyson Fury. Of course not.
Yeah.
Then he woke up and he wanted to go to the corner store and he forgot what neighborhood he was in.
Right. And Joshua, his mind is. Something in his head is not clicking. The physical is still there.
Oh no, he's got no confidence. He's got no confidence at all.
How do you not have confidence when you've accomplished so much?
Well, because it's off his recent fights, his losing to Andy Ruiz, and then the second fight he just moved around and against Ruiz to win the fight. He was scared shitless, even though what's his name would look like Porky Pig, Andy Ruiz, and he was so out of shape. What goes through the mind of a fighter, everybody thinks differently. So, some guys want to walk in there and tear off heads and shit necks, and some people can't wait till the fight's over. Some fighters can't wait till the fight's over. Some fighters fear the fight's even starting. It's just every fighter's different.
Yeah, right. He sounds like he has that kangaroo type spirit. If you hurt a kangaroo, he runs off, right?
Yeah. It's pretty accurate. I'll say that. There you go. Pretty accurate. Well, what's this question here somebody has here?
Yeah, that's what I wanted to because this is a great segue to a question that I have for you. So, Champ Ross Fantasy Boxing Predictions League, he asks, Rick, with some of these fighters crossing the pond to fight lately, we know the history between the two, but is there any chance of top-ranked Pro Bellum working together to make some big fights?
Well, Pro Bellum is getting sold. And it won't be called Pro Bellum anymore. I don't know the new name. It's getting completely sold off. And I don't know what the new name is. So I think once that happens, there's possibilities that maybe they're going to do some fights together. I can't speak for either, but they should be able to. And it's a shame they haven't been so far. So we'll see what happens.
Okay, so that segues into my next question. So talking about these, and this is going to lead to something even bigger, but the first question, as far as Showtime, you're pretty much the one that kind of like educated a lot of us as far as the Paramount Plus absorbing Showtime, and now what we're seeing is promotions for like Paramount Plus, and you can add Showtime, right?
Right.
So how is that looking? How does that make it look better for PBC? Does that make it
if they continue boxing after these scheduled shows that were already scheduled, it'll be a way smaller budgeted shows, anywhere between 100,000 and 500,000, like a show box compared to and like what they call a special edition. Those you can wipe out those multi-million-dollar fights watching the Charlos and that kind of stuff. I don't see that happening. Those guys are all bean counters. years. They haven't done any ratings. They haven't done good pay-per-view. The Charlo brothers did their pay-per-view. They did like 77 or 78,000 buys like 2.5, 3 years ago when they had that doubleheader, the two Charlos. One fought Sergey Dovinchek. I can't remember who the other one fought. Don't matter. It was a doubleheader. The two they didn't do any buys, so nobody's gonna put up millions for that shit. And they don't do any ratings. They're not doing big ratings either. I mean, ESPN swamps them in ratings. But don't forget, ESPN is free cable. It's basic cable. So they're going to do a lot more, but they're just not doing the buys. And they said any of their programming that does 10% of what their buys of their subscriptions, they're going to dump less than 10%, 10% or less, and they're doing less than 10% of their subscriptions. So they're going to. I think they're going to get. If you ask me, they're going to get cut. Whether they do boxing at all, if they do it, I don't know. But if they do it, it'll be like $100,000 and $500,000 to $500,000 shows. Those big time shows will be done with.
So. Thank you for your response there. You know what I'm saying? Very educational. Now, before I move to my question, Champ Ross has a follow-up question to that then. So Rick Schaefer, if Schaefer is selling Pro Bellum, is he staying within the company or will he start another one in a few years once everyone forgets?
Well, Schaefer was a part owner of the company. The big owner was a guy named Ali Poor Sam. I think I don't know if I have that in order. Might be poor Ali Sam. I don't know. But he was he's a soccer owner over there. We call it English football, whatever you want to call it. Soccer. We call it soccer over here. And he was the principal owner. He had a piece, and there was a couple other guys that had pieces of it, but he was not the principal owner. He was the figurehead and the president of the company. Don't get me wrong. But the major guys selling out and all that, everybody's starting over again with the new company if they stay on. In other words, there's no guarantee Richard Schaefer's going to stay on, and the other couple of the other guys, there's no guarantee right now. Nobody really knows. Everybody's negotiating. Some of them have been offered positions so far. Some of them haven't. So we'll see.
So my last question before I pass it back to Troy, and I'm also going to drop the link in the chat because I'm not sure how long we have you on for tonight, man.
Well, you're going to have me on for at least 1 hour because I have at least 1 hour to talk about. Whether it goes before longer than that, we'll see.
All right. So my next question is because also so ABC, right? What's your experience with them as far as the Association of Boxing Commissions? Because here's the thing, I just found out that they were oversight and there was actual oversight, and I'm surprised that there hasn't been any kind of legislation pushed by them. I guess they're just in charge, but they need people to go to their authorities in their states or whatever.
Well, the U.S. Senate and Congress, it makes the laws.
Right.
These guys are boxing commissioners. They're supposed to uphold all the rules. Why? What's the question?
No, that's what I'm saying. So shouldn't they recommend, since they're the governing body, shouldn't they make recommendations? They're the experts. They're the ones that were put into place to overlook this whole thing. Shouldn't they make recommendations? Because I'm looking for somebody to hold accountable, right? For why boxing is the way that it is.
For what?
Right?
For what?
For the shit that it is. You see what I'm saying?
Okay, I'm confused. You're talking about the officiating, or are you talking about the TV? What?
No, the commissions themselves, right? Like because they can vote, right, to say, hey, in this state, we agree with this, but overall they have to kind of vote shit in, right? And what I'm trying to say is, shouldn't there just be general consensus where everybody says, hey, you guys should recommend this, since they're a governing body? I don't know, and that's why I'm saying I'm asking you a question.
Okay, I'm very confused. Recommend what? In other words, what are you saying? To do with the TV or the rules?
No. Yeah, rules. As far as for example, rules. Shit, that's
okay. But what rules? What specific rules?
For example, let me give you examples. Then, So for example, we have the replay, the instant replay that happens in football, right? That they tried out. I remember, I think it was who was it a couple years ago that used it for the first time, and it was great.
Nevada did.
But they were able to switch the decision, during the middle of the round, because they were able to look at it real quick. So that's what I'm trying to say, like little stuff like that. But there's other shit too. You know what I'm saying? There's just other shit, just like, if the wrapping of a glove is going to be legal in this state, why shouldn't it be legal? If there's a big problem where it's dangerous or something like that, it should be illegal in all states, or it should be legal in all states. That's what I'm trying to say. Like,
the problem with that is each state has state rights. And those commissioners represent each state they're in. And those rules that you're talking about are state rules, have nothing to do with the federal authority of the game. The federal authority has nothing to do with it. The federal authority of the game means that they have to have an ambulance on the premises. If the ambulance leaves, you have to have a second ambulance. Right. You have to have a federal ID. Yeah. And you have to abide by, even if you're a Native American commission, in other words, an Indian tribe casino, let's say, you have to abide by the minimum medical standard of that state. You have to agree to all the suspensions. So in other words, if it's any medical suspension, you're suspended for 30, 60, 90 days, indefinitely or whatever. You have to live up to those suspensions, whether you're a state commission or a Native tribe commission. You also have to have the federal ID. I'm trying to think of all the rules off the top of my head.
No, you don't have to explain all of them, because my point is that I understand all of that. But what I'm saying is that, like you said, it's not like on a federal level. There should be some. If it's an oversight, though.
No, the competition rules are in the ring are up to each state as a general as a general situation.
That the ABC should interject themselves. Maybe it's not as far-fetched. That's why I'm asking you, because maybe it's far-fetched.
Well,
but I'm just saying,
if they change the law, if the lawmakers took the time and money to change the laws, they could do that, yes, but they'd have to change the laws. Right now, it's up to the state, the way they have it. But yes, could they change the laws? Yeah, but somebody's got to put forth and say, hey, we should have instant replay. Now, the one thing I don't like that some people want to do is open scoring. You can't have open scoring. Okay, that would screw up everything, because if a guy's behind in the fight, he'll just be looking to tee off. He'll just be looking to tee off on the other guy, and he either will go for the knockout or he'll get knocked screwed out. And if you don't know, it'll take away the drama of who's winning and losing. That's part of boxing, the drama and the new and still. That's what people want to hear. So that's why title fights are so important, because people want to hear that. So it's like, is boxing a perfect science as far as all these things we're talking about? No. And should they improve on a lot of these things? Yes. But open scoring is definitely not one of them.
I agree. And before I introduce Bruce Gass, the reason, again, I'm asking you that is not because they're doing it right now, right? And I'm not necessarily saying that I agree with open scoring either. What I'm saying is that if they're the oversight, right, I feel like that's the people that we probably should be holding accountable.
Well, some of the people in charge of the oversight are failing us. That's for sure, because they keep coming up with bad decisions.
That's all I was getting at.
They keep coming up with bad decisions, and there are too many political appointees and judges. So I agree with that part. And they've got to have a rating system for the judges, and they don't. And I have a real problem with that, where certain people should be able to judge world championship fights and eliminated, certain judges shouldn't be able to. And, there should be a rating system. And if you're not rated in the top 100 judges in the world, you shouldn't be able to judge a fight in the United States. It's that simple.
All right.
So, and I think that's it. And Bruce is a gentleman. I'd like to say hello to Bruce. Bruce, welcome aboard tonight.
What's going on, my brother?
Rick, I've texted you several times, and I've spoken to you that way. Pleasure to be on you, brother.
Thank you. Thank you very much.
Major Keith, thank you for having me up here. Appreciate it. And Troy, thank you, bro. And I just had, I could hit you with questions all night, but I just have a couple of them that I want to ask you, because
sure.
I don't know much about the business of boxing. I know a little bit about boxing, but the thing I have is a pretty good memory, and big fights, man. Some of the biggest fights I remember, like even the biggest of them all, Ali Frazier, the fight of the century. Hearns and Leonard, Sanchez and Gomez, the Rumble in the Jungle, the Thriller in Manila. One thing all these fights had in common, bro, they weren't on a Saturday night. Why does boxing think they have to jam all these fights together on a Saturday night?
Because they feel that the ratings are better on Saturday night when all the biggest fights used to happen on a Monday night, and I think Monday night's much better, but they don't. So I'm a player in boxing. I'm a bit player in boxing. I have a role. I'm a role player, but I don't make those kind of decisions, and I think they're all wrong. I think all the biggest fights should be on a Monday night like they used to be. All the big fights were on a Monday night. Take a look at history. Every fight was years ago, back in the 60s, 70s, and into the 80s. We're all on, all up until like 86, 87, 88. They were all on Monday nights, and that was the best night of the week, Monday night, because there's nothing else to do on a Monday night except that during football season, with Monday Night Football. Other than that, what's going on Monday night? Nothing. So I don't know. Who knows? I know less than you, bro. What's that?
I said I know less than you. That's why I'm inquiring, man. Because I don't get it. I live these days.
Listen, on a Saturday night, okay, my wife says to me, now, I'm an exception because I'm in the business. Okay, so I'm an exception. But how many people are fans? And the wife says, hey, you're taking me out for dinner. Hey, you're taking me to the movies. Hey, we have a wedding to go to. Hey, we're invited over to somebody's house. Okay, I mean, you lose too much of your audience, whether it's pay-per-view or regular TV on a Saturday night. I agree that the fight should be on a Monday night, 100%.
I'll tell you a little story. My first marriage was pretty much ended because of the Larry Holmes Michael Spinks fight being on a Saturday night, where my ex wanted to go and I said no, and she went, and the divorce papers were sent.
There you go. There you go.
But anyway, bro, I appreciate you answering me those questions, man. So
anytime.
You have any other questions, Bruce? Because I mean, you know your family.
Oh, man, I got a ton of them. What's going on in the heavyweight division, man? What's going on, man, dude? The days that I come from, the baddest man on the planet, up until Mike Tyson, that was the heavyweight champion of the world, and everybody wanted to fight the heavyweight champion of the world. They wanted to unify the title. Now it's
part of the reason I'm going to explain this to you. Okay, the TV networks have caused this problem. As soon as the guy loses, they discard him. And people are afraid to fight because they get discarded by the networks if they lose. And it's not supposed to be that way. Years ago, it wasn't like that. If you put up a great fight, they brought you back against another. If you lost and you challenged for the title and you lost, then they bring you back another contender. If you were the champ and you lose, okay, they bring you back. Okay, today they discard you like a rag doll. Okay, and that's the problem we're having today, and why some of these guys are afraid to lose. They get their TV contracts ended, or their TV deal goes kaput, or the desire to the TV to show them, and they're afraid to lose because of it. So the TV networks have partly caused this problem.
Now, shouldn't these fighters understand, even with an L, activity? People forget about that. When we talk about the great fight,
it's a different era. I'm going to tell you a great story, gentlemen. Right from your area, right from your area, Baltimore, gentlemen. You ready?
Yeah, that's me.
Okay. Gary Russell Sr., a long time ago, was talking to Al Heyman. Gary Russell Sr. is now passed on. Great guy, loved him dearly, super guy. Used to call me just to say hello. He told me a story that he said to me, why is my son only fighting once a year? Okay, this is when he first started to fight once a year. He says, because if you fight twice a year, you have twice as much chance to lose your title. There you go.
Yeah, that's real championship thinking, isn't it?
Well, that's why Al Heyman thinks. Why did he do that? Because he had too many fighters, not enough dates, and not enough money to go around to feed everybody. So he cut everybody down to one fight a year. That's what he did.
Shit.
Now, you think Al Heyman's? I almost think Al Heyman has a contempt for boxing, and
a lot of people feel that way because Bruce. A lot of people feel that way. A lot of people feel that way because his brother was used and abused as a fighter.
Bobby Heyman, exactly.
Right. A lot of people feel that way. Yes.
Hold on. Let Bruce land the plane, and then Irish Drew comes in after you. But what were you saying right there? The reason that you felt that way, Bruce?
Well, just what Rick said. His brother Bobby Heyman was used as cannon fodder, and basically Sugar Ray Leonard retired him. And I think there's a bitterness there. It's in the family. And Rick just kind of said what I was thinking, bro.
All right. Well, shit, man. We want to bring Philly Irish Drew in next. But yo, Philly, before you go, QT has a question. He says, "Ask Rick what more can fans do to force fights we want to see? We're not buying the BS pay-per-views, but they are lying about the numbers. Seems like we can't win."
Well, they're lying about the numbers, but they know the truth that the people aren't buying it. So keep not buying it. That's all there is to it. Don't buy it. And I only buy as much as I'm in the business, and this is my livelihood and everything else, and this is how I've made my living for 32 years. I don't buy shit pay-per-views. I'm not stealing it, okay? Because my name would be mud in the business if I was stealing pay-per-view. I'd look like a scoundrel. So I don't do that. I just don't watch if it doesn't fit my mental appetite. This first fight I'd want to watch, I don't buy it. Neither should the fans. Stand up, okay? And by not buying these pay-per-views, you're standing up. So continue to do it. They're just lying about the numbers. They know what the real numbers are because they're the ones that are lying about them. So keep doing what you're doing, my friend. Believe me, and everybody else should too.
Thank you, Cutie, for the question. But now, Irish Drew, what's going on?
What's up, bro? How you doing? Now, the one thing I want to add on to that is that if you look at it, if some content creators promote these cards, promote these fights and everything, promote certain fighters that have the bad fights, that been on the bad pay-per-view cards and everything. And that's got to stop too. Until that happens, you're always going to have fights like this. You're always going to have shit cards like this. But so my question to Rick is, out of all the undisputed potential fights we can have, what ones do you think have the most, like the biggest percentage of happening?
I think Usyk and Fury do because there's retirement money for both guys if they lose right off the bat. There's just they can go away and live happily ever after for the rest of their life. So who either loses it, it's worth the risk, even though they're both undefeated, because it's generational. It'll be generational money. Hello?
You think there'll be a Wilder Fury? You think there'll be a Wilder Fury 4?
Oh, well, there might be if the WBC mandates if Fury wins the Eliminator, if he fights, let's just say, Andy Ruiz and he wins, yeah, there could be. Yeah. If Fury beats Usyk, of course there could be, unless Fury just wants to give up the belt and say, no, I don't need that fight, moves on. I don't know.
Yeah, because people don't get it. Jake LaMotta and Sugar Ray Robinson fought, what, 5 or 6 times, bro?
Yeah, and, but that was timeout.
Different.
Those were great fights, though. Those were great fights.
Yeah, they were great fights. There was nothing great about the Fury 2 fight. The Fury 3 fight, he got knocked down twice, but the face plant ended it. And does anybody really want to see a 4th fight except the LBDCers and the Haymanites and the Wilderettes? And those guys, they all cheat anyway. They're not paying for it.
Before you go in, because I know Troy wanted to respond, but then we have to introduce Black and Brown, because Black and Brown actually got invited here specifically because, everybody who's not, I'm pretty sure everybody here is sub to him as well. That's my brother right there. But anybody not sub to him, go ahead and sub to Black and Brown. Shout out on the new family member. But his channel, some people were, we were having debates over there about your numbers, defending you, you know what I'm saying? A lot of people were defending you, but then there was like 50-50, like it was an argument, So one of the reasons that we specifically brought in Black and Brown, because he was one of the people also kind of defending, but he has some clarifying questions that he wants to ask.
Okay,
So,
I'm ready for those questions, but just to let you know what my wife says about me. Some people want to kiss me on both cheeks, and 50% of the people want to kiss me on both cheeks, and the other 50% want to put two behind my ear. So there you go.
Yeah.
He's a
Okay, go
West
ahead, Black
Coast
and Brown. I'm coming after you. I'm coming after him.
Okay. What up, Rick? Man, nice to meet you, brother. Thank you for joining us
Nice.
on the
And
panel.
where's Black and Brown from?
I'm from Sacramento.
Oh, nice. I like Sacramento. Kyle Larson's from Elk Grove, and I'm a big Kyle Larson fan. You know who Kyle Larson is? Kyle Larson is?
Larson, is he a NASCAR racer?
Yes, he was the champion, not this past year, but the year before, and
Yes.
he's a great race car driver, and I'm a big fan. He's from Elk Grove, and he's got a little bit of an interesting background. His father is a white American, and his mother's Japanese. So he's half Japanese and half American, and he's basically the premier driver in NASCAR today. So fire away with your boxing questions.
Okay, so you came out with some Tank Davis numbers, pay-per-view numbers, and it made a lot of people angry, and it caused a big fiasco. But nobody has came out and debunked you. You're not being sued or anything like that for the information you put out, right?
Of course not.
Okay, just making sure. People also, other boxing insiders came out and by name, named you and said that your numbers, that you're leaving numbers out, that you only have a certain numbers from a certain spectrum. Spectrum. There's other numbers, which streaming numbers and other numbers that you are leaving out.
No, my numbers include all consumer purchases, which are home cable, streaming, and satellite, all total. Okay, so let's debunk that right away. That rumor got started by 61,000 Espinoza. The next time he tells the truth, it'll be a historic moment in American history. He said, well, 61,000, that was our cable buys. Well, anybody can say that. Where's the proof? On his part, I put out a tweet. If my number is wrong, I like a verified, which is an audited number from a national accounting firm, what they call the Big Eight of the accounting firms. Come up with a number, okay? Show me the number. Show it to us if I'm wrong. All I know is that every single writer that wrote about it never got a quote from anybody from PBC, Tom Brown from TGB, or from Showtime. Okay, it was all said ultimately 200,000 buys. Nobody got a quote from anybody. Well, nobody put their name to it. If you notice, the boxing scene, which is owned by CBS, which owns Showtime, which all falls under the Paramount Global, they didn't even have a writer attached to it. They said staff. Under the writer, it said boxing scene staff. You guys remember this or not? Hello?
Yeah, when they put the numbers out, no writer put his name on it.
Correct. That's the point. Okay, anybody that had any gumption knew it was phony. Now, Dan Raphael is such a piece of shit. He said in his interview with somebody that I'm not even in professional boxing. That moron's not even in boxing, huh? I mean, you talk about a paid off hack. He's the guy right there.
Rick, you have Espinoza now. He's coming out into the public and he's talking to a lot of YouTubers and he's feeding a lot of YouTubers information and they're believing him. What are your takes on Espinoza? Because for me, he's new into this. I haven't seen him. I've seen him part of Showtime, but I haven't seen him talking as much as he's been talking lately.
Listen. Okay, it's simple. I said it earlier. The next time he tells the truth, it'll be a historic moment in American. Next time he tells the truth, it'll be a historic moment in American history. The guy's a perpetual liar.
Is he Al Heyman's puppet?
Of course he is. Why? Is that even a question?
No, well, a lot of us, Rick, we don't have inside information, so we're left to assume and put the pieces together and solve the puzzle. And a lot of us are pretty good at it. A lot of us, we don't need sources. We can just put two and two together. And Espinoza, to me, Espinoza has been Al Heyman's puppet the entire time. But for some people, they take his information and they run with it, and it's good as gold.
That's very sad too, isn't it?
Yeah, because I can see right through Espinoza. You can tell. You can just tell he's lying. You can tell he's a puppet, and most of his stuff is rehearsed and orchestrated.
Yep, no question about it. No question about it.
Yeah, Rick, when you put those numbers out, I don't really get into the whole numbers thing. I don't have sources, like I said, so I can't confirm nor deny numbers. But when you put numbers out like that, I believe it first and foremost because the times we live in and how easy it is to illegally stream. For one, nobody has $80 to be throwing down the drain. The cards are not good enough for people just to throw away $80. And we live in the times where illegally streaming is just so damn easy. It's a click away. So when you put numbers out like that, I believe them. But other people don't. Other people don't. I don't know why, because maybe they like.
Well, it's a funny thing. The LDBCers, the Hamanites, the Wilderettes, the Earl Sexuals, they don't believe the numbers. All these people don't believe, but they're not paying for it. They're the reason why the numbers are so low. They're cheating.
And,
so they're still in it. They're still in it, and they're coming out questioning your numbers, motherfucker. You stole it too. What are you talking about?
Quick disclosure. Rick Glaser, insight on LDBC has none. I don't know none of those dudes. You know what I'm saying? So it is what it is. I was trying to say.
I agree with Rick. I don't give a damn how they feel.
I know you do, but what I'm saying is I don't know them dudes personally, so I can't really speak on them. But
like Rick said, I'm sorry, Bruce. I didn't mean to cut you off.
Pay-per-views, bro. If I can say something about pay-per-views personally, I don't know anybody who loves boxing more than I do, bro. I mean, bro, I wear boxing. I wear T-shirts. I wear hats, man. So I get kicked out of the house for talking boxing so much. But bro, I don't pay for boxing. I don't have the money. I live on a budget, bro, and I don't think I haven't bought a fight since Thomas Hearns. I ran Barkley too, and that was back in the late '80s. And even that, the transmission came in shitty. And right now, you keep saying stealing and piracy, bro. All you have to do is Google. I want to watch Floyd Mayweather free, and click here and click there, and you're there. I mean. Yep. Pay-per-view, they've got to find a new way to sell these fights. It's not going to work the pay-per-view model. 61,000 viewers, bro. That could be 61 million. It could be 6. It doesn't make any fucking difference anymore because that's such a dying method. You can't measure the worth of a fight on the pay-per-view buys. There's probably 1 billion people who watched it, but only 61,000 idiots forked over $80 to watch a fight that I can walk down the street and talk about, and nobody's going to know what I'm talking about. That's how unpopular boxing is today. You know what I'm saying, bro?
Hey, Bruce, couldn't have said any better. Perfectly said, Bruce. And everybody wants to blame Rick Glaser for what you just said. It ain't Rick Glaser's fault that you can just get this fight so easily just by tapping in some letters on Google. Really quick, also, I want to say this, Rick Glaser, you mentioned your tweet where you challenged people to come out and debunk you, and I reposted your tweet. And that's, I don't know you, Rick, and like I said, I don't know, I don't have sources. So when you come out and you put something out, okay, I take it for a grain of salt. But then when you challenge people to come out and debunk what you're saying, and they don't debunk you, and they let your words live, I have no choice but to believe you. And when nobody is challenging you, I have no choice but to believe you. So, Rick, I appreciate you. Thank you for joining the panel and coming into these YouTube channels and talking to us, man.
And Black and Brown, remember on your Friday night, your Free Smoke Friday, I came on and I said when everybody was trying to challenge his view, I said, well, give me an alternative. Give me something to work with. And nobody could name a source or an alternative.
And also, Rick, you're not in this community. One more thing before I go. Salute to you, Rick, for not coming in this community, trying to start your own channel or use this community to your advantage somehow. You just come here for us, you talk to us, and you give us your information. And other people like you, they're coming into our community, and they're manipulating, and they're trying to get money and build YouTube channels for themselves. And you're not doing that, Rick. So we appreciate that, man.
Let me just tell you something. My wife asked me to start a YouTube station. I think I've had this discussion. I know I had it with Coach Malachi. I think I've had it with Troy. And I'd rather help upstart guys like Troy, like Coach Malachi, Major Key. I'd help them facilitate their own station. I don't need the revenues from the station. My success is planted. I've been in it 32 years, and if I need more revenue, at this age, shame on me.
Yeah, fact. Someone needs to clip that. Someone needs to clip that, man, because Rick Glaser's name gets drugged through the mud out here, and all he's doing is trying to put his information out through the small YouTube channels, the underground YouTube channels. He's feeding these dudes information, and everybody out here goes crazy, and now he's the most hated man in boxing. Salute to you, Rick. I appreciate it, man. Salute to you, Troy Graham, for getting Rick on tonight, and salute to you, Major Key Boxing. I'm gonna get back to this baby. You guys have a good night.
You too, bro.
Thank you.
That's tough, man. All right, let me jump in here. Let me jump in here real quick here. You know what, Rick?
What's that?
You know, man, when I told you to come to the show, you know, we're supposed to smoke a peace pipe and be all friendly. But as usual, you come over here and start trouble. And I love it. I love it, man. I love it. But to be very honest with you, how did your name become so what's the word I'm looking for? Infamous. I guess on social media with these boxing guys, you know, who did you tick off that took your name and just dragged it and just ran with it?
Well, part of the reason is these guys don't understand what I do. They think like I'm a failed manager or failed this. I've had this great role for many years, and I've been very successful in boxing. Boxing's been really good to me, and being on YouTube stations, it's a way to give back to you guys. I have no idea. I think there's a lot of jealous people out there that I've made it in boxing and they haven't. They look at me like a glorified fan, and they don't believe my numbers, but they don't realize the things that I do. I've got 47 clients worldwide. I mean, a client to me is somebody that I've taken compensation.
Hey, hold on, Roland. You can't interrupt.
I'm sorry, brother. I didn't mean to interrupt. I'm saying, but I want to compliment him at his highest point.
Finish your point, Rick, and then I'll let Roland in right after that.
I do my job every day. I broker deals. I tender advice for a fee. I'm an expert witness in lawsuits. I do what I got to do. And everybody, it's like, people don't even believe I'm in boxing. Dan Raphael, an idiot, says I'm not, but he knows I'm in boxing. What the fuck's wrong with this guy? I'm an elector at the Hall of Fame in Canastota. I'm a New York State Hall of Fame inductee. I've been an expert witness in 34 boxing cases. I'm acclaimed in federal court as a certified expert on professional boxing. So I have no idea what these idiots are talking about. It's nuts.
All right.
Fire away.
I just remove rolling with the punches because I don't need nobody throwing up gang signs and acting all crazy when we're having a professional interview. So
bring it back on.
Spotlight. No, we're gonna bring on Spotlight instead. You know what I'm saying? Spotlight. How's it going, brother?
What's going on with y'all, man? It's been a while. I haven't been on a panel in a minute, but I had to jump on here real quick. Rick, it's an honor to meet you, man. You're a legend in the game, honestly.
Thank you.
I just feel like back to the numbers and all that. Whenever you put out numbers, it seems like there's a lot of companies that just try to downplay a lot of it. And was it like that in the older days? I mean, I feel like back then I would watch boxing, but I wouldn't keep up too much with I want to say the whole business of it. I feel like was it known a lot more of the business back then?
They were because they were putting out truthful numbers because there wasn't a way to steal it. Now they're lying about it. You understand?
Yeah. So now they have to lie about it since it's being stolen at a higher rate.
No, they don't have to lie. They just do to keep in practice. They should just keep their mouth shut. But they want to say that my numbers aren't real. Then what are the real numbers? They didn't put them out.
Now, do you think those numbers also hinder from big fights actually happening? Since they want to just put everything on pay-per-view?
Absolutely.
Yeah, because I mean, I feel like in this generation, we just seen last week the women get a really good card in, and I feel like if there was more boxing on the men's side, that more champions would go against each other and try to go for undisputed. I feel like this conversation wouldn't be brought up as much as it is. But thank you for your response. I mean, like I said, a big fan. I'm always following your Twitter when you be putting out stuff, and all these PBC people coming at you look crazy.
Well, are you following me on Twitter?
Yeah, I'm following you on Twitter.
No, thank you. Well, listen, I say something about myself every day. If I accomplish one thing in business where it turns a profit, and I piss at least 25 people off, I felt like I've accomplished something for the day.
That's a good way to do it.
Well,
Well,
okay, go ahead.
I was
Hey,
going to
can,
say,
hey, can I say something? Because I was going to jump off too in a second, Major Key. Can
go
I ask?
ahead. Land your plane, and then I'm going to let Roland ask his question because Rick.
All right, Rick, I hear your name slung through the mud a lot on here. I hear people who say this and that about you, bro. You know, I give you the I listen to you, and I make my own judgments, and you're a pretty cool guy as far as I'm concerned, bro. I appreciate you coming on here and talking to me.
Well, let me ask you a question. Louis Turchiarelli's known me for 32 years. What did Louis tell you about me?
I'm taking the fifth. I'm going to take the fifth, my brother.
No, tell him what he said.
He says you're the real deal, and what you say I can take to the fucking bank, bro. He told me that, bro. And
there you go.
You got.
And there's a guy that's a guy that known me 32 years and is as streetwise as they come.
And you don't fuck up with those guys. You know, you fuck up once and you may end up with broken legs. You fuck up twice and you got flowers.
Yeah, Louis was only in federal prison for extortion. He was extorting bookmakers.
Hey, brother, I'm taking the fifth on all this shit. But getting back to boxing, I have one more question I want to ask you now. Now, we talked about how easy it is where, everybody can get these fights. And you even said yourself, man, if you did it, the only thing that's going to happen to you is your peers are going to look at you like you're a crumb for quote.
Correct.
So what's the answer to this? Are they going to be able to use like YouTube to promote boxing? And
I'm not technically savvy in that regard, but I will tell you that I'm sure they're working on it now. And they don't have any answers, or they would be in place already. So there's definitely issues there. There's no question about it.
Okay,
not even a question,
bro. The rabbit's always been one step ahead of the fox as far as communications go.
Yep, in most situations that's true.
All right, brother. Hey, man, I'm going to call you again, Rick. We're going to talk again. And hey, Major Key,
I'm as close as your phone, Bruce. You're a class guy.
Good.
And all you can.
You always know you're welcome, Bruce. Shout out to you, man.
Hey, Rick, I had a question.
And more. And then Rolling with the Punches has a question, but shout out again. Yo,
one question,
Bruce.
One question, Rick.
Yes, sir.
Hey, Rick. It's not even a question, man. It's the fact that you bought your wife, your loved one, the one that's been by your side, riding and dying and shit, man. That's the beautifulest thing and shit. Someone in the pain and struggle with you, going through that shit. You bought her a car. That's beautiful, man. So if anything, like they can't take nothing. They can't take that shit away from you. It's like no matter what the fuck anyone can do, they can't take that away from you. They just can't.
Well,
I'm saying, like,
I got my wife. I got my wife a 2023, the new redesigned Mercedes S500, and we got it December 31st. A white one with a beige interior. They call it Starlight with a macchiato interior, and she loves it. And tomorrow she gets another present from me. So I'm not going to discuss what that present is tomorrow, but it's comparable to a car.
All right.
But thank you.
Hey, B, come the fuck on, baby. Look, shut up. Hold on, wait, look. One thing.
We'll save that for another day. No, yeah, we don't. We're not. Brian Harkin, welcome to the building. How's it going, brother? You more serious about boxing? What's going on, Brian?
What up, Major Key? I have one question here for Rick, and it's a very simple one.
Sure.
Do you think the fact that these fighters ain't really getting noticed is the fact that they're put on pay-per-view before they're put on, before they're put on national TV.
1,000%, and also they don't fight often enough. They're not in the public spotlight enough. They're not, and in between fights, you don't hear about them unless they get arrested. So there you go.
Yeah, that's true, because the way I see it, and it's a very simple thing, is these guys are put on pay-per-view before they even get an audience to watch them, or who notices them.
Yeah, that's right.
So,
are you from? Where are you from? Ireland?
I'm from Ireland. Donegal, County Donegal. So,
okay, you're there now, or you live in the United States now?
I'm here now. Yeah, I'm here right now. So, yeah, that's
Brian also subscribed to Brian. Like, this guy knows his boxing. He used to box himself. So Brian definitely
amateur. Amateur, but
but he definitely knows his boxing. So yeah.
Yeah, like that's why I feel like for me, that's why I feel like the numbers are down, because these guys, they don't even get an audience, right? They don't even have, that exposure.
Unequivocally, 100% correct.
So do you think going back to the old TV model, back where they're on, what do you call it in America? We call it
terrestrial TV, regular
terrestrial TV
television, right?
Yeah. Do you think that would help boxing? Because I
1,000%. They don't even have to be on that. The regular free ESPN cable is good enough. That Shakur Stevenson. My 3 brother-in-laws know Shakur Stevenson. None of them know Tank Davis. So there you go.
Yeah. I think the fact there's too many pay-per-views too. That's why people that used to be pay-per-views used to be for like big events.
Yeah,
and they've even turned that into like a joke. I think we got Ariola and thing last year, and Andy Reach, and to me that was not. To me, like I was not. If I was in America, I wouldn't have paid $80 for that.
No, nobody paid. It's ridiculous. Where are you from in Ireland?
County Donegal, up the northwest.
Okay.
So yeah. Yeah, but for me, that's the reason. Why boxing numbers are in the tank, it's not even exposure. So I just want your thoughts on that. So
yeah, you're 100% right. There's not even a question.
Okay.
Thank you.
Thank you, Major Key, for having me on. I'm got other people on the panel here, but
thank you.
Hey, Brian.
Yo, Graham, what's up, man? How you doing?
Good, man. Hey, good. Why don't you stick and stay for a second and tell Rick how serious you are about the sport? Remember when you shaved all your facial hair, including your eyebrows?
I did. That was more for charity, but it was on a boxing stream charity event. So,
he's a very serious man for boxing, Rick. Very serious fan. I mean, very serious.
That's cool. That's cool. We need more serious fans, and the real serious ones still enjoy the sport, and that's the way it should be. The problem is, they're people's favorite fighters don't fight often enough.
Yeah, so that's my problem.
Absolutely. Now, I have a question for you there, Mr. Rick.
Sure.
Why is it that boxing can't actually sit down and talk to all these social media outlets and say, okay, when we have pay-per-view fights or whatever, why don't we let the people who actually want to see it pay like a little $10 and you all could play it on Twitter,
that's a great question.
YouTube or whatever.
That's a great question. I don't have those answers. I think that the pay-per-view model is completely broken and passe today, and it should be for like 2 fights a year. Like if a Canelo fights a Benavides or something like that. There's just too many pay-per-views. It's just killing the sport.
It's so many bad pay-per-views, exactly, because there's a lot of fights that don't even belong on pay-per-view. But my mindset is this: if you only charge $10 and let these social media show the fight, they have millions and millions and millions and hundreds of millions of fans that are on social media. Then you're gonna make your money back 2-3 times over, right? No one's gonna keep paying $7,900 to see what's this boy here who beat Joshua fight the old guy from Cuba? No one's going to pay for that, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. So you just have to think outside the box sometime and try to do something else. Because I don't get it. I really don't get it.
There's just none of this stuff adds up to success for pay-per-view. Everything you're talking about is the reason why it's not selling. It's the theft. It's they're not making compelling fights. It's a little bit of everything. And is the piracy rate super high? Of course it is. But that's not the only reason. I mean, if the fight was so good, I would buy it on pay-per-view. I'm not buying it. I don't give it, I'm not going to watch some friggin' fight where I know the result before the fight starts. The only thing I don't know is what round it's going to end in. Other than that, I know who's going to win. I don't want to watch that shit.
Exactly.
Why would I want to?
Yeah,
there's too many
90-10s. There's too many 90-10s. 90% this guy's going to win, 10% that guy might land a lucky punch. Right?
Let me ask you.
To the fine gentleman from Ireland, I'm glad you never asked me about. You had enough class not to ask me about Daniel Kinahan. Thank you for that.
I don't need to know the details. I live close enough to Kinahan to know to keep my mouth shut.
Daniel, I will tell you, Daniel's one of my favorite people. He treated me very well. I have nothing but respect for him. I don't care what has been said about him. He did nothing but wonderful things in boxing for boxing and for fighters, and have nothing but respect for the guy. I admire the guy as a person. I'm one of the guys that really met him. I talked to him regularly. I met him. We had lunch together. We had multiple sit down chats. We did business together. And I respect him as a person, as a boxing guy, I'm going to tell you what he said to me in his opening statement to me, and again another time when we sat down. He says, "I don't ever want to hear you screw the fighter. I will be pissed."
I thought you were going to say that he's going to tell you that all your tax refunds are going to be audited from now on.
I don't care. I don't care. I have a CPA. I got a CPA. I follow the law, and I will say to you that he's a great. I have nothing but respect for Daniel.
I never talk anything negative about anybody that I don't know. But hold on, because Spotlight is he's been waiting for a second, and we were letting in Raider as well. So Raider's got a question, and whenever you want to shut it off, give me at least 2 or 3 questions for the panel. And we can shut it off on your side.
We're doing all right. I'm watching college basketball at the same time I'm doing this.
Okay, perfect. All right. So I want Spotlight because he's been patiently waiting. You know what I'm saying? Spotlight.
I like that name, Spotlight.
Yeah, Spotlight 1, 2, 3. Spotlight fight 1, 2, 3, and then Raiders coming in as well. So he's gonna have a follow-up question after you and
where's Spotlight from? Where you from, Spotlight?
I'm from Los Angeles.
Oh, good. I was just out there 2 weeks ago. It was very nice. I loved it out there. I went to Bodega Louie downtown for lunch. Are you familiar with Bodega Louie?
Yes, I love that spot. That spot is
delicious. It was very nice. And then I went to El Pastero in Beverly Hills on Canyon and Brighton on the corner there. You're familiar with that place?
Yeah, I got a couple of chefs who work there that I know. It's really good. Okay. It's super pricey out there.
Yeah, I have no problem paying for quality food. So
yes, definitely. That's where it's at. When it's
so quality, fire away, Spotlight. Fire away.
I just wanted to jump on what Brian had said. I feel like there's a lot of the way fighters are seasoned now. It's so different, and I feel like they get they want a lot more money than they're worth at the time. And
that's been the Al Heyman effect since he fired up with this at the end of the HBO run and then into the PBC run. That's the Al Heyman effect, and it screwed up boxing. That's why the numbers don't work anymore.
And I see that other fighters see those PBC fighters and try to pick up on that kind of
trend.
Not
anymore. The PBC now, they've had a lot of issues financially, so they're not paying those big dollars anymore. Showtime's budget's cut back. They've basically lost Fox. They may have 2 more fights in their contract on Fox. They're done. So that game is over now. It's basically come to an end.
They did have the Fox contract, and they were putting them on regular Fox. Like there was so many. I mean, I remember watching Keith Thurman. I think it was Danny Garcia on
Correct.
regular TV, and it
Mar-
was
Mar- Mar- March of 2015, and it went all downhill from there. Correct.
yes. But I feel like I really want to see boxers, of course, go, best fight the best, but it seems like a lot of them are being protected by their promotion companies, either not wanting to let that all go or just keeping them in their own, stable, trying to fight their own
Of
people.
course. That's part of
And
the other problem on pay-per-view. They only fight people in their own stable. They don't fight other promoters' fighters. That's another problem.
yeah, and
As you
it's just
guys are
dragging the
talking, you
sport.
can see as you guys are talking tonight, you can see all the problems on pay-per-view. It's not just the piracy.
We've been talking about these problems for a long time.
Well, there you go.
Like,
And they all add up.
that's that's the, like, I don't know how many times I've like people have mentioned these problems, or when I'm on a panel or I'm in a chat and these problems come up. So it's just not that it's new for us.
Right.
Yeah, it
Mhm.
just keeps
Let's move it
going.
along now. Raider from LA, and Roland. I love you, brother, but you're not gonna ask a question again about camels or cars. I'm sorry, brother. We're talking about boxing. So Raider, go ahead, bro. What's your question, man?
Hey, first of all, buenas noches to everybody in the panel, Major Key, everybody that's on here.
Yeah, what up, Raider?
buenas
How you
noches.
doing?
What's up, guys?
What's good with you?
Hey, how's it going, Rick?
Very well. Thank you for asking.
Hey, I wanted to ask you. I don't know if you've heard, but I've heard
I
of.
can't hear him. I can't hear
Can
him.
you hear me or no? Can you hear me? No.
Okay, try
Can you guys
again.
hear me?
Try
I
again.
can hear you, but he says he can't.
Oh,
Try
okay. I
again.
don't know if you guys can. All right, can you hear me now?
Yeah.
Yep.
Try not to be too loud though. Yeah, because it sounds more louder than everybody else. So
Oh, my bad. My mic is sensitive. But hey,
Okay.
can you hear me now or no? Is that better?
Yep. You're good.
Okay, cool. I want to ask you if I've heard that I don't know if it's true or not, but Al Heyman has some sort of agreement with these testing. Like when the fighters test, that if they were to pop dirty, that they don't publish that. Those companies don't publish it in public. Is that true? I don't know if you heard of that. Have you heard of that?
I've heard it, but I haven't got into to verify it because I remember I don't handle fighters, so my fighters are not my fight. I don't have fighters fighting Al Heyman's fight. I advise two fighters. I have a lot of managers that are clients, but I only advise two fighters. And I'm a deal maker. I'm not I'm not looking to protect a fighter, as and those are the managers that they need to find, and promoters, they need to fight that stuff out. But I've heard that recently for about the last 2 years, maybe since COVID, I've heard that.
Yeah,
So,
yeah.
But I've heard that, yes.
And one more question. This Tank and Ryan debacle that's going on. Do you think that actually that fight's gonna happen or not? What do you
I,
think? What's your
I
opinion?
I think there's real issues there. I think Heyman's putting up more roadblocks because he doesn't want it to happen.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, I agree because last thing I heard now that there's issues about rematch clauses and stuff like that.
Yeah,
Where
100%. And he changed what he's talked about over the phone to something that was totally different than they talked about in the contract when it was sent. And Oscar's not going to put up with that. Oscar's got the better attraction in Ryan Garcia than the other guy is. Okay, don't forget that. Okay,
Yeah.
and he doesn't need them. He's got a huge built-in Hispanic audience on the zone. He doesn't need to do pay-per-view.
Yeah.
If they want to make a big fight, okay, but he wants the same treatment. If Ryan wins, he wants to be him and De La Hoya want to be the A side in the rematch. They're not saying no. That's against boxing standards and protocols. So Heyman's trying to rewrite history in boxing. This is what he's trying to do: rewrite the way boxing's been done for forever. And you know what? It's not right. And Oscar's going to put his foot down. I have a very good relationship with Oscar and the president of Golden Boy, Eric Gomez, and they're very strong-willed people, and they're going to put their foot down.
All right, cool.
And keep in mind that Oscar's got a lot more money than Al Heyman ever thought of having. So I'll leave it at that.
Can you put me on full screen?
And also too, I don't know if you heard of Robert Diaz and Golden Boy splitting. Do you know? I didn't hear why. What was the reason? I don't know if you've heard anything about that.
Well, it was sort of like the Joe Girardi New York Yankee thing back in 2016 or 17. Girardi's contract was up, and the Yankees didn't fire him; they just didn't renew the contract. Well, the same thing happened here. Robert Diaz's contract was up, and Oscar elected not to re-sign him and allowed him to move on. So there's your answer right there.
All right, cool, man. Appreciate it.
Was he fired? No, he wasn't fired. Technically, no, but nor did they want him back.
Yeah. Can you put me on full screen there?
Yeah.
What?
Hold on 1 second here, man.
I just want to explain.
Listen, you've asked some good questions. You're entitled to some more questions because you've asked some good questions. So keep going if you want.
Yeah.
I'll think of some right now.
Oh, wait, hold on. I forgot. This isn't my show. I'm sorry. This isn't my show. I forgot all about it. Oh, my God.
You know what? You're the guest, man. And everybody's enjoying the commentary. But Brian Harkin is showing you a picture right there. He says,
"Here, I want to. It's not the picture. It's what this picture represents. Remember when this man called out Manny Pacquiao, Ryan Garcia?
Yeah.
Right. And he basically just cloud chased him. He said the deal was done. All this here. This is one of the reasons why I don't think the fight will happen. Cloud chasing the name, right?
Well, it's two different sets of circumstances.
Yeah. On this picture, though.
I don't know.
On this picture, though, it says "Don't mess with Manny, kids." Basically, before and after picture of what would happen to Ryan if he.
Funny,
right? Yeah, because don't mess with matches. Don't with matches.
All right, guys, I'm gonna be out. Rick, it was amazing talking to you, man.
All right, peace out, brother. Have a good night.
Major Key, all the panel.
Thank you, Spotlight. Thank you.
All right.
Thank you for showing up and asking questions.
Yeah, I got another question if
sure
if you're down. I appreciate you saying that I ask good questions too. So another one
don't start them off, Rick, because you be careful what you wish for. Because stop asking questions, bro. You be here till 3 a.m.
He's good.
Asking questions,
listen. A question: Are you, sir? Are you married?
Who, me? Of course.
He's Mexican. He's not married.
You're married?
No.
Yeah. Well, he's talking to me, Brian. Yeah, I'm married.
Yeah. Are you married?
Yeah, I am.
Okay. So you'll catch less abuse on this in this chat than you will in your own home. Okay, I get it. Come on.
Yeah. No. So we're all talking about all this. Fox leaving PBC, and now we know that Showtime is going to Paramount Plus. If Paramount Plus elects not to continue with boxing, what options does the PBC have as far as networks?
Zero. When I was out in LA, from January 22nd till I don't know January 30th or 31st, whatever the dates were. I got last Monday night. So what was that? The 30th, I guess it was. Basically speaking, is I met with the attorney that gives me my pay-per-view numbers. He's in the TV business, and he said his exact quote to me was, "Al Heyman and PBC are toxic brands to TV networks and streaming companies." Okay, so I think it's very slim.
Yeah, because I remember Al Heyman when they came out with the PVC, they were on Spike, they were on different channels, CBS, and all
they
of
had all that money. They had all that money from the hedge fund, and they were buying time and buying paying for the production, and they were working off the TV ads, and it was a financial bath and loser, and it's continued on. Heyman's never turned to the PBC's never turned to corporate profit ever.
Yeah, no, that's what I was. Yeah, that's why I was wondering why they never gave him any more airtime. All these channels.
Because they threw him out. Their fights were bad. Their ratings were low. It was an embarrassment.
Yeah. Yep, that's what I thought too.
What happens? Okay, what happens to the fighters when PBC does go down that way? Because
we don't know if Al Heyman's going to take him over, be an advisor, and bring him to bring him to other promotional companies amidst defeat. We don't know if he's going to leave the game. We don't know anything right now, but it doesn't look very promising for PBC. That I'll tell you.
One question before I go. Something's been killing my mind ever since I found out about it. Who's behind BLK?
It's hedge fund money from Silicon Valley. It's a group of investors, hedge fund money.
Okay.
It's not, the rumor about Daniel Kinahan is completely false. Completely.
No, I never
false. Believe me, if Daniel Kinahan was involved, if Daniel Kinahan was really involved, I'd have a position there. Trust me, I'd be his watchdog, if anything.
I never thought Kinahan was right. What I was thinking was maybe Heyman might be some way behind.
Absolutely not. Please, absolutely not.
Listen,
okay,
it would have been more believable with that guy. What's his name? Warren Buffett. It would have been more believable with him, right? Because he sits down and eats with
Mayweather.
Well, yeah. No, he's with Crawford. He's tight with Crawford.
Okay, that would have been more believable than those. Yeah.
Right.
Yeah, I have a question.
Yeah, because remember, Glenn, me and you last month, we were talking about the PBC, how we looked at their website in December, and they only had one fight scheduled, and they got over 200 fighters. So
they're in trouble.
Yeah, like what's going on?
I got a question for you there, Rick.
Sure.
Okay, now, when all this started, when Heyman and Schaefer left Golden Boy, and everyone was saying that Golden Boy is gonna die, and is gonna die a horrible death, right?
Right.
But they took all their fighters. What happened? Because they came out with so much heat, right? And so much. What happened? Where did they mess up?
What happened? What's the question? I don't understand.
No, I'm saying, PBC came out with so much heat and it got everybody's attention. Free fights on network TV.
Well, they used that hedge fund money. They used the hedge fund money to buy the fights from Whitehall Reed.
Meaning what? That they were overpaying their fighters for the fights?
Yeah, they were overpaying their fighters. They were buying airtime. They were buying airtime. They were buying paying for the production, and they ended up losing a lawsuit to Oscar, and they got Oscar got 40 million. So that's not a secret in the business. Oscar got 40 million from the lawsuit that came from the hedge fund money.
Okay, now another question. Okay, go ahead.
No, I actually wasn't done. I have another question for you, Rick. I know that Heyman is very intelligent when it comes to the music business because that's where he came from. Right. You would figure that a man that's so intelligent would have people around him who actually knows the business that he's getting into, because he doesn't know boxing. He knows music. He's not a boxing guy.
Well, he does have people around him, but they're dummies, and he don't know no better.
Yeah. One question, and I think this is a good one. That last year, Canelo fought 3 fights on the zone. According to some people in the PBC, they offered him up to $60 million to fight. Did they offer him that money, or is that a lie?
Well, what fight are you talking about?
Like, remember when he became a free agent?
Who?
Canelo. Right.
Canelo. Yeah. What about
go fight Jamel Charlo and a couple of fighters over in the PBC, but he chose the zone route.
Right.
They said that
because the zone is more worldwide, and he's known in the United States and Mexico already. He's looking for more of a worldwide audience, and that's why he chose the zone.
Yeah, but I'm asking, did they have $60 million to give to him, or is that a lie?
At that time, 2 years ago, they may have, but today they don't. They may have had that then. Pretty sure they did, but since then they've blown through that money.
Okay. Okay. Yeah. All right. All right. Now I was just wondering that because
Mhm.
some fighters said, well, we offered them this much and he chose the zone right. So I just wanted to know if that really happened.
I don't know if it did, but if that's the case, I'm sure they had the money then. They don't have it anymore.
Okay. Okay. That's fair enough.
Okay. Well, next question. Come on, you guys are slowing down on me here. I'm
No.
going
Yeah. I
ready
mean,
to go.
they were interrupting before. Now all of a sudden you shutting them down. Shit. What the fuck?
Putting them up and shutting them down. Come on.
Yeah.
Where are all the questions? I'm getting lowly here. No questions.
Okay. Is there any points on the next big pay-per-view star in the United States? Who's the next
I
big?
think I'm not saying the next because he's in the development stage. He's only like 12 or 13-0, but I would say the heavyweight Jared Anderson he's a really good fighter. Looks to be the real deal. He's got a great personality, great smile, good looking, well built. I mean, he's got a lot of charisma. I mean, Troy, would you agree with me?
I agree, but he also hasn't fought a damn soul yet either.
No. It's early yet. Come on, it's early. It's early.
It's early in his, So,
Yeah.
Okay.
Yep.
Okay. What do you think's the death of the heavyweight division?
What do I think? What
is the death of the heavyweight division?
The death?
That these fighters only fighting ever so often, or
well, they want so much money per fight. You can only fight them so many times a year. There's always so much money to go around. These guys are looking for 40, 30, 40, 50, 60 million a fight. So not easy to produce those kind of revenues more than once a year. It's pretty tough.
Hey, what was Wilder's pay-per-view numbers versus Hellenius? You remember?
77,000.
77. Damn, that's
Yeah, and Dan Raphael put out 75 just to say look like, oh, he's wrong, but it was 77. He's full of shit. He put out 75, so it doesn't look like he's putting out the same number I did first.
And Raider,
wow.
Raider, hold on one second because G Funky's in the building as well. And,
oh my God, I love the G Funk. Good man.
I know you get along with G Funk, Rick. That's what I'm saying. Like we were talking on the phone last week, and he said that he wanted to bring you on, but he's dealing with family situations. You know what I'm saying? Well, just taking care of the children like a father should. So shout out to G Funky, my brother. And tell since we had you on today, I was like, hey, yo, G Funky, you want to ask him some questions? So he's here as well. So go ahead, G Funky. Welcome to the panel.
Hey, what's going on, Major Key? What's up, Rick? How you doing, man?
Good, buddy. Good. Very good, actually.
Well, I know I'm really late to the party, man, but I've been, like Major Key said, taking care of stuff for the family. But did anybody ask you about Berlanga and that situation with Golden Boy since you were out there?
No,
in LA?
nobody's asked me on this show tonight, but Keith Conley's fielding offers from a bunch of companies, and I believe personally it's down to Golden Boy and Eddie Hearn. So I think he'll be seen on the zone. No matter who signs him, he'll be on the zone, I believe.
Well, that's good because I've been really wanting to see him fight Jaime Munguia. I think that would be a big fight. Oscar's already kind of put it out there that he would love to put that on in Madison Square Garden. I think it would do good over there. I really do think it would be.
It would fill the garden up. It would be a excellent fight. The styles meant for a great fight. Munguia's open to fighting at 68. I'm sure because he struggles to make 60, and it's a big fight for both guys. I think it's an excellent fight in the ring too. So yes, I agree. I like the fight a lot.
Yeah, it's a 50-50 fight, in my opinion. And both guys need this kind of fight in their career. They're both around the same age.
100%. 100%. Unequivocally correct.
Yeah. And it's a great rivalry fight, too, between the two countries, right?
Oh, yeah. Anything to do with Puerto Rico and Mexico, especially with two undefeated fighters. Oh, my God. Huge.
We just sold the fight for them for free. You know that, right?
Yep, I know that.
Yeah, and anybody ask you about the meeting with Terrence Crawford, or was there a meeting, or was it just a picture with him and Oscar and?
Oh no, there was a
Bernard
meeting on
Hopkins?
Saturday. There was a meeting on Saturday, the day of the fight, the 28th of January in the morning at Oscar's office. And it was Oscar, it was Bernard, it was Terrence Crawford, his guy. I don't remember his guy's name. I heard it, but I don't remember. And then it was Eric Gomez, the president of Oscar's company, Golden Boy, and they had a very fruitful meeting. We'll see what happens. Don't forget, don't forget, Alexis Roach is going to be named mandatory because, Virgil Ortiz went the WBA route, and
Right.
Jared Ennis went the IBF route, so he's going to be named the mandatory, and they have him now. What could happen is, he could go fight Rocha. They could do a multi-fight deal with Oscar, and Oscar could guarantee him 3 fights, let's say over 18 months. A fight every 6 months. Or he could get step aside money, and they could go fight somebody else under the winning call. But with Oscar having, Golden Boy having the mandatory for Crawford, they hold a lot of the keys to the Crawford's next couple fights. There's no question about that.
Yeah, I think that's good for Crawford to work with a promoter like Golden Boy.
You know what? I think that Oscar would greatly raise Terrence Crawford's profile. I really do.
Agreed.
Oh, guys, I'm going to tell you something. I had the pleasure to work with Oscar on this last show, and with Eric Gomez, my wife and I both went out there. And I'll tell you what, Oscar's a hell of a promoter. He signs autographs for people, takes pictures with everybody that asks. I mean, there's no turning his back on an autograph. There's no turning his back on pictures. There's no turning his back on interviews. And I'm talking about with just general fans and, boxing enthusiasts. I'm not talking about the press, anybody. And I tell you what, he's a lot better promoter than people give him credit for. There's no question about that in my mind.
I agree, man. I agree. But hey, that's all I got, man. And like I said, my time's real limited right now, but I appreciate you, Major Key. Rick, I'll call you.
Whenever you're ready, I love to be on your show. It's always a pleasure to be on your show. I'm ready whenever you are.
Absolutely. I
told him that too. I told him that, hey, G Funky Man, just hit him up. But he's busy, because he was like, man, I'm gonna try to hit up Rick, but that was like
the fact that your family comes first before me. I gotta respect that. Thank you.
Rick loves you.
Absolutely.
Rick loves you, bro.
Hey guys, thank you so much for your time. Everybody on the panel, everybody in the chat, don't forget to hit the like button for Major Key. I'll be listening, guys.
All right. I think you turned a couple of people over too, man. I think you made a couple of believers tonight, man. I got people saying that SWAT's best Rick has been believable all night, and some people just coming in. They probably hearing you for the first time and not hearing, they just hear other people talking shit about you and they don't know. So they just capture on to that. That this is one of the reasons that Troy, Grizzy, and myself have always backed you up. You know what I'm saying? We've always backed you up on this. But SWAT's best, my man is talking a lot of shit in there, bro. SWAT's best, you my man's, bro. But you click the link and be bold because we're limited on time here because Black and Brown's gonna go live in a little bit after Rick ends here. And so if you have anything to say, just talk to the man himself. Don't talk about it later afterwards and ask questions later. You know what I'm saying? I thought it was about all smoke. SWAT's best.
He's that sniper that likes to shoot from afar but can't hit a damn thing. But let me jump back on this gentleman here. The big baby, right? The young heavyweight, right?
Right.
He has about 12, 14 fights because
12, 13 fights. Yep.
Yeah. Because right now he should be fighting the Coffees of the world, the heavyweight Coffee, even though Coffee's been on the shelf for a little bit, but Coffee has some skills. Johnny Wright
he would destroy those guys. He's past
right. But what I'm saying is that Johnny Rice, also the guy who beat Coffee, and there's another one. There's a Latino brother. Is it San? What's his name, Mage? What's his name, Mage? The Latino heavyweight that's out there now. That's
Richard Torres.
Huh?
Frank Sanchez?
Sanchez, yeah.
Frank Sanchez.
Sanchez or Torres?
Those three fights. Hold on a second, y'all.
Al Heyman ain't doing that fight. Al
No,
Heyman ain't doing that fight.
right. But the reason I brought those three names up is because that'll tell us where he is. That'll tell us where he is.
Right,
Those are stiff competition.
first of all, he beat Johnny Rice. He would beat Johnny Rice easily. He would beat who was the other guy you mentioned? Coffee. He beat him easily, and Frank Sanchez. Heyman would not allow his guy in the same room with Jared Anderson.
All right.
Why not?
Listen, I got Swat's best. He was trolling you in the comments section, Rick. So he was one of the people we were debating over on Black and Brown Channel. So
fire away. Come on, Swats out.
He got some nuts. He got some nuts under him. He's on the panel. Go ahead, Swats. What you got to say?
Yo, salute. Yeah,
brother.
basically, I'm just one of the people who had your numbers in question. Basically, I was just one of those people. You said Tank did like 60-something thousand.
61,000, correct.
Yeah, but you were only alluding to one specific number.
No, I was not. My number includes all consumer buys, whether there be home pay-per-view, cable TV, satellite or streaming, all combined. 61,000. That rumor was put out by Espinoza. Oh, there's 61,000. That was just the cable buys. No, it was the whole thing. Okay. Now, question, Swats. Where are you from?
I'm from New York.
New York City?
Yeah.
Oh, what part?
This is Manhattan, like Hell's Kitchen.
Oh yeah, that's where the Irish hung back in the day.
Yeah.
No,
now, but
yeah, no, I said back in the day. Okay. Well, you have any other questions, Swats?
Nah, that's pretty much it. Just refuting the numbers, because a lot of people just say that 9 times out of 10 your numbers are you only releasing numbers on PBC based fighters.
That's not true. I release them on Top Rank when they do pay-per-view. They hardly do pay-per-view. They're the only there's only one person that does pay-per-view on cable TV, and that's friggin' PBC. Yeah, the ESPN does it on his streaming, and what do you call it? Does them on his own. That's why. It's of course if there's no numbers from who does pay-per-view. What's name's only doing 2 pay-per-view shows a year, Canelo, and Top Rank does maybe 1 pay-per-view a year. Okay, and they haven't done any since Crawford left. So what are you saying to me? Yeah, of course it's only PBC because they're the only ones doing pay-per-view. Does that answer the question now?
All right, sort of, but I'm just gonna make sure for future references that if like Anthony Joshua fights some potato pie and it's on pay-per-view, I'm gonna look forward
to it. It's not gonna be on pay-per-view in the United States fighting some potato pie. Okay.
I'm just looking forward to your numbers in any.
Well, let's put it this way. I put out when what's his name was put out on streaming. When what's his name? Tyson Fury. Who did he fight? Dillian. Who was on Dillian White on pay-per-view?
Dillian White, yeah.
Yeah, I put out the number. What are you talking about? I put out the number.
So okay.
It was like 40. It was like 48,000 buys.
I got a question for Swats when he's done.
Yeah, Swats, keep going, Swats. You got to come up with a good question. Come on, Swats.
Okay, Swats, I got a question. I got a question for you. Why are you so quick to deny Rick when you were so quick to accept the numbers from Dan Raphael?
No, this is not what I'm saying. I was never accepting any numbers. When Rick Glazer's numbers came out, I was like, okay, these are Rick Glazer's number. But in any case where other numbers start coming up, the original number is automatically in question. It don't matter what it is. It don't matter. It could be Rick Glazer. It could be a stick. Right. It could be a rock. It don't matter who it is.
Okay, Swats, let me explain something to you. Okay, because you really sound like a passionate guy, and I like passionate people. Okay, especially if they're women. Just kidding you. So, anyways, let me explain something to you so you get this totally. That 200,000 number was floated to the media. Okay, was completely floated to the media. When Boxing Scene put the article out, it said Boxing Scene staff. No writer would put their name to it. There was no quotes of any executives from PBC or from Showtime. And it said 200,000, ultimately 200,000 buys. It never said anything but bullshit. And another thing, Swats, nobody put out a number until I put out my number. Did you notice that? Were you paying attention that my number came out first? Okay.
Your number was the
If
first
I
number.
would, my number came out 11 days after the fight. Now, traditionally, I put out a number on a Friday because I get my number on a Friday. But the guy get my numbers from, the lawyer, was on a cruise. Okay, and he said, "Don't bother me till I get back." Okay, which means don't call, dummy. Okay, so I didn't have the number until 11 days after the fight. But as soon as I put out my number, they came out with their bullshit number. If I wouldn't have put a number out, they wouldn't have said a fucking thing because they know that was a fucking failure, that show. They know what the number is. They know it's 61,000. They know it's a failure. Okay, but they tried to discredit me. Do you realize that Rick Glaser from Williamsville, New York, a guy who owns a one-man business, GlaserBoxing.com, has Showtime, owned by Paramount Global, okay, which was CBS. I've got them on the run. Think about that for one fucking moment and tell me who's telling the truth and who's lying. Am I wrong, guys?
And so the lion has awakened.
If they were making money, if they were making,
guys, you see my point? Am I wrong?
Yeah.
No, I'm laughing.
I agree with you.
I'm agreeing with you. I'm saying if they were making money,
they're responding to my number. And if I don't mean anything, time out. If I really don't mean anything, then why are they responding?
Yeah, I'm agreeing with you, right? I'm saying what I was saying, right? If they were actually doing numbers, right? Why are they on the verge of closing down? Why are they being dropped by Showtime? Why are they being dropped by Fox?
Devil's in the details, baby. Devil's in the details.
Some of the details, right? If they were actually doing,
but I like my question answered by Swats. Swats, do you see my point?
Yes, 100%.
Thank you.
But it's
you.
At the end, it's definitely a conflict of interest on both ends, though.
How so?
There's no conflict of interest on my end. I don't have a financial interest in this. All right, listen.
Yo,
I put out. Listen to me 1 second, okay? I'm on Facebook and Twitter. Forget Instagram. I only put out social pictures, my wife and I, and shit like that. Okay, bullshit. Nothing to do with boxing, really. Okay, I mean, we might be at a fight, but there's no news there. I put out stuff to inform the general public because these writers don't inform the general public. They come up with all babaluba. You know what babaluba
I agree, and I agree, and I respect it because that's real journalism.
Okay, I do it for the people because boxing enthusiasts are not fans. They're enthusiasts. Why? Because NFL has fans because you're not paying to watch. You're watching for fucking free on TV. A boxing fans pay no matter what. And the boxing fan deserves to know what's going on behind the scenes. And that's what I've been doing for years. Okay? I try to help, but at the same time, the same schmucks that I'm trying to help and inform accuse me of stupidity. I'm a moron. I'm a jerk. I don't know. I've been doing this for 32 fucking years in boxing full time. Okay? I lived a life of luxury. Okay, my wife and I live tremendously. Okay, all from boxing. Okay, I'm not a doctor. I'm not a brain surgeon. I'm a boxing guy. Okay.
All right. So somebody fell off. But shit. Swats. Any final thoughts?
Not really. I think, in my honest opinion, I'm still gonna push my movement though, because it's a meme. So, like,
what movement? What do you mean by movement? What's movement?
What do you mean? What movement?
Yeah, you said you're gonna push your movement. I'm not aware of a movement that you're pushing. That's why I'm asking.
Bro, you know what movement man's been pushing? The whole Rick Glaser shit, the meme shit, and all that. Yeah, we can't just let that leave the YTBC. I ain't gonna lie.
Oh, nah, I
That's
probably
it.
don't follow those channels actually. You know, I got my own channel that I rock with, and I actually don't follow any movements like that.
That's the main issue I had with the numbers. I never
Guys.
said like
Guys,
man
can you hear me?
fraud
Can you hear me?
or
Yeah, we
anything
hear you
like
now.
that.
Yeah, you know.
What it is
Yeah,
that
I was cut off. I don't know what happened.
it
But
don't
okay.
matter in the
So
case.
Swats, do you understand what I'm saying?
Yes, but all
Okay,
I'm
thank
saying
you.
is that at the end of it all, when it's it could be any situation like that. It could be a whole other dude that comes out and gives the numbers. Anybody else that follows after that gives a different number from that first original number is gonna be in question. That's just how it is. It don't matter what it don't matter who
What,
it is.
what was the movement though? Because he fell off when you said movement. What was the movement about?
The same shit, just like Rick Glaser memes and shit. The shit is still gonna continue.
So you say you part of that movement.
I'm basically probably the chief of that movement.
So make it. Oh, so you be trolling Rick Glaser? Okay.
Not trolling. Like I'm not doing malicious
If you're
thing.
making memes about him for no reason, you're talking to him right now. What's your problem, man?
It's not a malicious meme, though. You understand? I'm not a
But you're talking to. Has he said something that so far has made you believe that you're justified in making malicious memes about the man?
I'm not, though. That's the whole point. I'm not.
You just said that you were.
No, that's not.
Like
No,
amazing.
Troy, this is the thing with you, Troy. You are old person. No offense. So me, I'm much younger. So the generation.
Wait, hold it. I'll be 65. Hold it.
Please don't stop him. Please don't stop him. He's talking to me. Please don't stop him. Go ahead, Swat.
Swats.
Go ahead, Swat.
Swats. I'll be 65 in April. I'm a lot older than anybody here.
What I'm saying is that the humor from my generation to your generation is a lot different. Now, me,
the humor?
Yes. Like, for example, yes, the humor is different. For example, the memes and stuff like that, I'm not a malicious troll. I'm not out there saying, oh, Wrigley, oh, and all the. I don't do that. That's not me. You could go find them LDBC people who probably do that kind of shit. I don't do that.
They do.
Me,
But
I do.
Let me say one thing
like
before
friendly troll. I don't do malicious harm or anything.
Because you know I like you a lot, bro. You know we always get along. You funny dude. I'm funny. You know what I'm saying? We get along.
What do you mean funny? How am I funny? That's what you're supposed to say.
Swats does. I'm talking about Swats. So Swats.
I know. You missed that opportunity, Swats. You're talking about humor, but you missed it all.
Yeah, I got it. So here's the thing. So Swats.
His humor is up in the north.
Look. So Swats, here's the thing, man. When it came down to it, right? I know that your age is young, like you just mentioned right now, right? But you got to realize this guy has been in the business for 32 years, right? And so you said you're probably the general or whatever actual title you gave yourself about the memes and all that and trolling and all that, right? You got to understand, man, like when you get in a conversation, at least, you know, give credit to the fact that he's engaging you. He's giving you
of course.
this information.
I already said salute and I already thanked them. I already did that.
He did.
I respect.
In defense of Swats,
people that I'm not like that. Me, I never said that this dude is like fraud. I'm only saying the number was in question because there's other numbers that came out. That's it. If no other numbers would have came out,
there's a whole bunch of numbers that came out, bro.
Yeah, there was like.
But Swats,
like the thing is,
if I wouldn't have put out a number, nobody would have put out a number because they were only attacking me because of my number, okay? Because of the fact that they're trying to defend their product.
I agree.
You're missing the whole point.
That is, I agree. Yes.
And one thing too is that, you know, us as a consumer, it's kind of hard to know who's lying and who's telling the truth. Because there's so many numbers, you know, and they're all over the place.
So let me ask you a question, okay? Swats, what would be the reason what I would lie? What would be my motive for lying?
Basically, it's just that he said, she said shit. A lot of people was going around saying that you give negative biased reviews on PBC-based events, stuff like that. So when I got that in one hand, and then all these guys
that have been on the show tonight, Troy's known me the longest. And Troy's asked me to be on this show several times. I've been on several times. I think this is the third time. I've never turned him down, nor would I. Okay, Troy. If Troy doubted my credibility, Troy would not put me on this show.
Absolutely right.
Okay, that's number one. Number two is I get paid for my opinion at $600 an hour from people around the world, promoters, TV networks, everybody. Okay, I get paid $600 an hour. I broker deals every day in the boxing business. I've been an expert witness in 34 boxing lawsuits. And in the meantime, I'm considered an expert on professional boxing by everybody in the business that I'm not an enemy of. So the question is, why would I lie? There's no reason for me to lie. Okay, that's all there is to it. And they can defunct anything that they want. But if you go to my website, glazerboxing.com, you'll see everybody talk about my knowledge and or my honesty. Go to glazerboxing.com and you'll see a testimonial page and a lot of the power. Don King's on there. A whole bunch of people are on there that you know of. And you'll see what they say about me. Okay, and those are all factual things. Bruce Trampler, executive at Top Rank, he's in the Boxing Hall of Fame in Canastota. He's an inductee. They're all talking about me. Everybody can't be wrong. There's truth in quantity, my friend. Continue, Swats.
Well, I wanted to respond to Swats about something.
Mm-hmm.
Humor is actually comprised of two things, and I'll get back to boxing. I mean, humor is comprised of timing and intelligence, man. It has nothing to do with age. Because you could listen to old Bill Cosby, Richard Pryor, and dudes from way before you were born. They're still funny. They don't stop getting funny because they're old. And everybody that you know that's funny today copied the guys that came before them. So you're not bringing anything new at all.
Right. Listen,
just
guys.
the technology.
I know.
Guys,
what
we got 7 more minutes to go. What are we doing in the next 7 minutes, guys? Come on, 7 minutes will be 2 hours. I'm ready. Come on now, guys. Fire away with these last questions. Swats, you got any more questions?
The only questions I really had was with the numbers. That's pretty much it.
Okay. Well, just keep this in mind. Okay, the numbers are only as good as the person's credibility that's giving them out. Think about that.
Like for me, I really go based on the numbers as far as how much the fighters get paid. If you got these fighters that are making a lot of money, I'm pretty sure they're making a lot of pay-per-view numbers. If they're not making that much money, then they shouldn't be getting astronomical numbers. You know what I mean?
You ought to tell Al Heyman how to run his business because he's lost $900 million not listening to you.
Whoops.
Yep.
Yeah. Well, does Al Heyman pay these guys? Because I mean, the last time I checked, Jamar Charlo and all these dudes are like robbing people because they don't got money. Not paying.
Sure, Adrian Broner.
Let's do this professionally. So Raider, is that your last question? Because I want Black.
Yeah, that's it.
All right, because I want to ask Black and Brown to drop his link for. He's about to go. He's about to go live after us. So go ahead and Raider. You know what I'm saying? Like let him know. We'll let everybody know where to follow you if you want. But go ahead and ask your last question. Then after that, we'll pass it to Brian Harkin, Swats Best, Mr. Graham, then myself, and then Rick Glaser. Obviously, you let everybody know where to follow you after that.
Yeah, no, I don't have no more further questions. I appreciate Rick Glaser for answering my questions. Major Key for having me on the panel. And who else is on here? Swats Best and who else? That's
Ryan,
it.
You forget me.
Ryan and Troy. Troy too. Troy sometimes, I don't know, he's on a different world sometimes talking about, hey, Troy, why don't you ask Rick Glaser about your idea about the Chinese?
Yeah, why don't you ask him about that?
Manny Pacquiao getting $200 million for a.
We got 5 minutes. We got 5 minutes.
We got 5 minutes. That's
Forget about Chinese balloons. Get with the boxing question. I'm not here for Chinese balloons.
No. This is not Chinese balloons. Troy said that Manny Pacquiao could get $200 million to fight Conor Benn.
That's exactly not what I said, Rick.
That's
Oh,
exactly what I said.
Listen, forget about it. Come on, let's move on.
Come on, let's move
Well,
on. For real,
guys,
that's what I'm saying. Guys, come on.
I got 5 minutes.
All
Come
right,
on,
we
guys.
got Brian.
Final, that was your final question, Raider?
yeah,
Appreciate you.
that's it, man. Thank you for having me
All
on the
right.
panel, man. Catch you on the next one. Thank you,
No
guys.
doubt.
Bye.
Thank you.
All right, Swat's best. Well, Brian actually, yeah, Brian first because Swat's best was the one that was ruffling feathers over here. So Brian first.
Okay. Just thanks for having me on. Thanks for having me on, Major Key, everyone in the right.
Of
But
course, Brian.
my one question is very simple. Do a lot of these fighters? I think a lot of these fighters will dissolve. Do you think most of them will go to BLK because they seem to have,
No, I
at
don't
this
think so.
point,
There's too many. There's too many fighters. They can only absorb a couple fighters. No,
Okay.
very few fighters will go there.
Okay. That's me. Thank you, Major Key, for having me on. Everyone in the chat
Thank
panel.
you.
You're always welcome,
Thank
brother.
you.
Yes,
Subscribe to me on Brian Harkin. It's just my name. That's my channel. So
there you go.
Everyone has my button subscribe.
Great box in mind. Great box in mind. I would agree.
Peace.
All right. Swats, what's going on?
The only question I really have to ask is I probably missed it because I just got home and then I saw that you was on, so I joined. The main question I have is how, like, I probably missed it. What about the situation with PBC? Like, what do you think is happening? Is it really like a ship sinking? Is it?
If you want to just summarize, Rick, because he did actually answer that question. If you want to summarize real quick for him, Rick.
Yeah. Hold on. I'm coming. Hold on, guys. Hold on.
No worries.
Hold on, Dal. Hold on. Hello?
Yeah.
Guys, I gotta go. I got a problem.
No worries.
Thank you for your time, man.
Thank you, man. Yeah, he did actually answer that question earlier, though. Shout out to Rick Glaser, though, man. Let me remove him from stream just in case he's got some background stuff going on that's off record. You know what I mean? We got to respect the man. You know what I mean? So let me kick him from studio right quick. So, yo, how you feel getting the taste of that medicine? Swats, was coming in with some heat in the chat, bro. But you know what I'm saying? Like, what you trying to say?
that was actually one of the elite confrontations that I've had in terms of YouTube.
Yes, sir.
No hard feelings.
You better show all your homies that shit. Tell them all to subscribe to Major Key and to watch that whole shit.
Yeah, this
and
is
the Troy
actually
Graham experience.
This was definitely one of the one of the elite ones that I'm actually pissed off about that I missed. I'm actually pissed off about this. I just got home. I missed this one. I'm pissed off. I'm not gonna lie.
You didn't miss it. You were a part of it. How did you miss
I missed. I don't know how long it been up, but I only been here for about 10-15 minutes. I'm pretty sure.
No, you were here longer than that. We was on for 2 hours.
Yeah, I missed. I missed out on it.
Like an hour ago. You been here for like an hour, bro.
No, not an hour. No.
Well, at least 45 minutes.
No.
Something like that.
If you put your YouTube chat to have the timestamps, you'll see.
I'll check it out. I think you were here for a pretty good minute though.
Nah,
I just got here anyway, like 20 minutes ago. Let me can somebody let me highlight the link. Hold on, because Black and Brown. Everybody, go ahead and make sure you click on Black and Brown's link right there. He's doing an after party for this right here, man. You know what I'm saying? And Troy Grizzy, let everybody know what. And thank you again, Troy, because you hit me up with this shit last minute. And you know, we both got Rick Glaser's number. I could have called him, but Troy Grizzy hit him up out of the blue and said, "Yo, we got Rick Glaser on Monday." I was like, "Okay, well, I guess we do that," because that's the way Troy does it. Troy's like, "Yo, we got Rick Glaser on Monday." That's where you good? I'm like, "Yeah, I'm good. All right, that's fine. That's fine, bro." You know what I'm saying? So yeah, shout out to Troy Grizzy. He always coming in. You know what I'm saying? Doing work in the background without me even knowing this shit and just putting me on the pressure like, yo, you going to do this shit. You haven't been live in a minute. You fucking going live. So that's what's up, bro. I appreciate you, Troy. You know what I'm saying?
Bless up yourself, man. It's all
and
good.
We're going to get Popeye. Popeye did respond afterwards, after we were live, by the way. Shout out to Ricky Popeye Rivera. He's going to be fighting this Friday. He was supposed to come on today, but he had to do some extra work. He was trying to lose some extra weight that he had on him to make sure that he hit the scales right on Friday. So, who can hate on that? You know what I'm saying? When the boxer's like working and trying to lose the weight to make sure that they're at the weight that they're supposed to be at. You know what I mean? So shout out to Ritzy Popeye Rivera. We'll see him soon. I told him to come on after the fight. So we'll see him on after the fight. Besides that, Swats, you don't have a channel, right?
Yeah, I do. It's the same as my thing. Like name Swats Best. Yeah, I actually just do. I'm just starting out on boxing content. We gonna be global real soon.
I got you.
We're gonna be global real soon.
Right.
But I don't like self promoting or anything. This is for you guys. I appreciate you guys.
But this is a community. This is a community, though. You see what I'm saying? Though it's the same way I got built by my homies over here, by Black and Brown, by G Funky, by fucking D Style, by even Punch Drum. Fuck, you know what I'm saying? Like he don't fuck with me, I don't fuck with him. But even back in those days, shit like that. Like Troy Grizzy, you know what I'm saying? Always over here, like kind of local sports. Shout out to him. Shout out to a lot of these dudes, you know what I'm saying? That helped me for a long time promoting my channel, man. And I'm here where I'm at, So and we got a lot more growing to do. It's not like this is done. It's just scratching the surface. You feel me? So
it's a whole lot of more work to do.
Yeah, whole lot of mo. You know what I'm saying? But so shout out to you, brother. I'll see you over there on Black and Brown channel. Troy Grizzy. Final
yes,
words,
sir.
brother.
All right. Final words is you ask it. You asked for the man. I asked him for his time. He came through. So thank you for those that did show up and jumped on the panel, asked some questions. I appreciate that. I just don't like the whole. I'm gonna tear him down behind his back, but I'm not gonna say nothing to his face thing. I really have never been a fan of that ever. But
Roland, hold on 1 second. Roland, you want to come up here and talk to me real quick or something? Like talk to me, Roland. What's going on? You're just not gonna fuck. Oh, okay. I thought you was wanted something, like, you know what I mean? Because here's the thing, bro. It's I felt like you was you was not sticking with the program. You see how everybody else stuck with the program. You was you know what I'm saying, not sticking with the program. And so this is a professional conversation that we're having. We're trying to get a good stream going with a lot of information going, everything flowing, everything freestyling. You see what I'm saying? So it is what it is. So you got the link if you want to talk to me. Otherwise, you know what I mean? Like, we could talk. Okay, there we go. So what's goody, Roland? What's on your mind, brother? You got the link. Talk to me. Otherwise, you know what I mean? Like, we could talk. Okay, there we go. So what's goody, Roland? What's on your
turn
mind?
down your background noise, man.
Yeah, you got to turn off the background. You see, that's one of the problems that we had earlier.
Got it.
So what's good?
I just got it, man. I don't know. You
All right,
talk
so
to me, man. What's going on?
No, I'm saying because we all gonna go to Black and Browns, but I just don't want you to feel a certain way if the shit is not productive, bro. You know what I'm saying?
I love it. I love it. That's why I respect you, man.
All right. Then that's all it is. Then that's all it is.
I'm goddamn. But honestly, look, check it out. Look. I'm just gonna say one thing now, and then we can keep on going if we want to keep on going. But I want to say one thing now. When the shit that when that one time we got drunk and shit years ago, I feel like it's years ago, but it was a little minute ago and shit, right? And it was about my ex Shannon and shit, man, I swear, like, and I forgot about that shit, like literally that same night, like when you were big enough as a man, because a lot of motherfuckers don't apologize as men. That's crazy. But you know what I'm saying? That's crazy. But you did though. And honestly, when you were apologizing to me, I was thinking to myself, like, what the fuck is he apologizing for? I was like, what did I do? I was like, what the fuck? And I'm just scanning my head, like, oh shit. Because I swear, because I'm saying, like, my point is this, man, like, before that, what you did was real shit.
Listen, brother.
First
and foremost,
no, because shit, though, man. What you did that was real shit, baby, 100%. 130% real shit what you did before. So I was kind of held to a high standard, you know what I'm saying? I was held to a high standard, That's all it was, man.
Listen, buddy. Huh? Can you guys hear me or no?
Yeah, what's up?
I can hear you.
I can hear you.
All right. So all I'm saying is that what you're talking about is after, right? You attacked me and I attacked you, and then you got mad, and then you text me a bunch of shit that night, And then I texted you back saying, yo, it wasn't even like that with you, the way you took it. You know what I'm saying? But if you felt that way, I apologize, right? That's the type of dude I am. If you felt that way, I apologize. Then the next day, we even spoke to each other. You were telling me, yo, no, this and this and that. But I think you was hungover. And so we deaded it. We eventually deaded it. But you didn't bring that shit up again until the other night on Black and Brown's channel. And out of the blue, you brought that shit up. That's facts.
Hey, man, no. And what's facts is I've been said about like how you keep it real, and I ain't bringing shit up. Shit got brought up, and motherfuckers ask me questions, and I'm not gonna sit here and just. I mean, I wasn't even trying to say anything anyways, but like motherfuckers asking me questions, man. We're all drinking, having a good time. Shit, what the fuck did I do, son?
Yeah, man, I'm gonna keep that shit a buck every single day of the week, bro. Whether on YouTube
Hey, check it out though. It wasn't even no B shit though, because everyone knows we're all on a big circle.
Nobody said it was. That's what I was trying to tell you last time when you was wilding out, bro. I was like, yo,
they're just trying to hear the laughing thing. They're just trying to laugh about shit. You know what I'm saying? Like, hey,
no. I think. Look. People get tipsy. It's okay. You was tipsy. I get that. It was okay. I told you, yo, you wilding out, this and this and that. But whatever, I apologize if you felt like I fucked up. That's what I told you. And I'm a man enough to say that, bro. I never lie. You can ask Black and Brown. Everything that we talked about on the side and the back end, bro, I will verify if he asked me the question on the live. Now, I might talk to him afterwards and be like, well, why did you bring that up? But I never lie on the live. If he puts me on the spot and asks me a question, I'm always gonna keep that shit a buck. He knows that. You see what I'm saying? Yeah. Everybody knows that about me. You know what I'm saying? So the fact of the matter is that, yo, you was kind of tripping that night. You know what I'm saying? But we spoke about it afterwards. You know what I'm saying? And then since then, I thought that shit was dropped. And until the other day where you started talking about, yo, the way that you did what you call it, David Benavidez and shit like that, when I wasn't even on the live, you was shitting on my fucking channel's name. You can't do that, brother. You can't do that, bro. Yeah, you can't do that, bro. You can't do that.
Hey, that's what I'm talking about. That's the point. That's the one I'm talking about where somebody says some shit. What are you talking about? Man, look, check it out. I done been. Hey, look, I'm not gonna. I mean, I do appreciate the internet. It's very like fuck, man. I wish we can all just hang out on the internet. Like every last person's watch. Like if we're watching this, like it's a shit like boxing shit. Like man, like we can all just always have a big party to step into. That's what it's about. But quit acting like you got amnesia, motherfucker. You know what the fuck is up, dog. And I'm getting tired of fucking repeating myself, son.
Yo, I ain't as fucked up as you, so I think the only motherfucker that got amnesia and been bumping his head is you, bro. So you could call it a night. You could call that shit a night, brother. You know what I'm saying? And go over there and talk to me on Black and Brown's channel because he's trying to go live, and I'm not trying to continue this bullshit over here with that drunk ass dumb shit. Get the fuck out of here, bro. But anyway, another great edition of Major Key Boxing. I hope you guys enjoyed. You know what I'm saying? Shout out to Troy Grissy. Shout out to everybody. My guest, Rick Glaser. Y'all already know. You know what I'm saying? Y'all heard it here. Rick wasn't ducking any kind of smoke at all. Answered all questions. And, whoever wanted to click the link, got the link. You know what I'm saying? They clicked it. They asked their questions. Did they really get it off their chest or not? I don't know. But at the end of the day, that was upon them to do so if they was going to click the link, right? So Black and Brown Boxing, everybody show up over there. We got 28 people in the building. Everybody go to Black and Brown Boxing. Let's hit the like when we come in as well. All right, y'all. Peace, man. Another edition of Major Key Mondays. We out.